All right, morning team. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We're back at it. Let's close out this week strong. It's been a little bit of a messy week, and we're opening up right in the midpoint. So let's go over it. We're going to look at the extremes so far of this week, which would be Tuesday's high, okay, and Wednesday's low. And you can see right now we're opening up well inside, coming into this sort of 61 to 0.70 kind of fib of the range of the current week. All right, that's what we're seeing so far today. We did have a drive down yesterday. All right, we opened up low, drove lower, closed back inside the range. You can see once we got to this 50-day, this red line, we found a bid. This is also a low volume node. We can try and get some VP on here. Why does it keep forgetting it every time? See if we can get maybe visible range. See if that will go on. There we go. All right, finding a bid in this like low volume node on this old shelf, and we're trading back upside now into like this thickest area that we've traded in for quite some time, since basically October. All right, we keep getting stuck up towards these 900s. So the same thing applies. It's exactly the same levels as yesterday. We can refine stuff a little bit. This morning we have caught a bid on the 20-day. We're trading back upside. Chips have had a little bit more strength this morning off some news. We can go through all that shortly. All right, let's just make sure you're set up here and can see everything on the hourly. All right. So where are we at? Well, yesterday, you can see we came outside the previous week point of control. We faded down in the afternoon session, eventually losing that bid. We talked about in Discord this fade of the 800s, right? Once they lost the 800s, it was game over, right? It meant all the bulls got caught who were trading inside, and we got that flush down, this same trigger point, right? This flush down, same trigger point as we had here, flush down, same trigger point. So the same levels are playing out over and over and over again. For this move here, same as this move here. All right, this is your trigger point up into these 800s. Overnight, all right, once we tagged this previous week point of control, we reclaimed current week value area low, this little node, and we started drifting upside, and now we're getting stuck at the current week point of control, all right, current developing profile point of control, and the previous day point of control. Everything overheads right now. So we are stuck in a small rotation. If we zoom into this, if we think about yesterday's value area low right here, we are back inside yesterday's value. So if we think about this, this was most of yesterday's. It means we're not finding acceptance outside of yesterday's value. We are still inside of this current week's value. Okay, when we think about this current week, we are not able to trade outside for downside pressure. All right, we absorbed the bid there yesterday. So we're trading in a rotation. It is as simple as that. Mainly in this node here, same as yesterday. We spent most of the time in this node before we faded away, and we're right back in that. No acceptance below it. So really, we're stuck between 800 and 900. All right, this is your kind of key level. This 800 here. All right, this low volume node is being protected. Every time we come down there, we're finding a bid. So all the time we're holding 800, it's looking to rotate back into what, this high volume node. All right, so we're trading between these, building out liquidities. The same levels as yesterday, okay? If we find acceptance through 900 and certainly through the edge of this, 925, then maybe there's a drift higher. But just like yesterday, you've got to be very careful of a failed breakout. If we come under the 800s and we start getting stuck, okay, then maybe we lose the bid and we trade back down into the first point would be this node here, 55, 755s, and if we lose that previous week point of control, it really gets interesting if we lose previous week point of control. That's when we then suddenly have room, because we're trading outside of current week's value, and we can look for some of these nodes, 550s, 500s, and even lower. So these are the edges I want to play for. I don't really want to participate in here. I'm going to be honest with you. All right, market showing in here, doesn't really know what it wants to do, but chips are a little stronger this morning, so it really depends if we're going to find a sustained bid on those chips. Okay, so if we have a look at this 5-minute chart, you can see overnight, right, we closed down here, we caught this bid, right, 20-day, 5-day, look at that, mean reversion complete, 20-day, 5-day. Remember this low was also the 50-day down here somewhere. All right, so we've caught the bid. and we trade back upside in Asia, trade back upside in London, little dip back down to the 200, find the bid on a 5-minute, back up to supply up here, fail supply, and trading between these levels, 100-point range like I talked about. All right, let's have a look at some of the broader market, some of the mag names, see what we've got going on. Oh, did not mean to do that. Sorry, folks. Right, let's just clean this up a second. Move to a 5-minute. Okay, so back inside previous day. Remember, back inside previous day, and we're back inside current week and previous week. You need to be aware of that. Yes, same kind of story. All right, afternoon flush. Came at what, like 1, 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock, afternoon flush, but we've instantly bid that back up into yesterday's supply. All right, so we're trading between these two levels. All right, here's potential demand, here's potential supply. All right, so we are just stuck between these until we find acceptance one way or the other. You need to be careful of look above and look belows here if they fail. So I really don't want to participate in here to start my day off. Let's have a look at the spiders. 95 is that big level. It's probably been big level for some time now in terms of gamma exposure. So right here, you can see stuck there yesterday. It's the same trigger point today. In fact, we've put a little alert there at 95s. And I'd say probably 90 is the downside. It's got a way to go to get down into there. So 95s, why is it alert failed? Okay, we've got some problems, have we? They added some more bugs in here for TradingView. Fantastic. Right, so 95s is the trigger. If we get above that, that's either look above and fail or look above and base. So look above and base, look above and fail, and back inside range. And I'll watch the 92s to see how we act somewhere down here. See if we find a bid down here. That would be important. Q, same kind of story. All right, it's trying to get back above 26s and 27s really to get going. If we lose this bid at 20s, then it's night-night probably, and we're going to go for full rotation. Dixie, still trying to get back up to those hundreds. This is interesting. All right, now breakout, trading back down into this support system. Can it get going here? Big question mark. All right, we've seen weakness in Dixie for some time. Can it get going? VIX, same kind of story. This is now flipped. Trading between these ranges. All right, you can see between here and here. It cannot get out of this. It's stuck in here. If VIX stays stuck in this box, we will also stay stuck in a box. All right, have a look at the mag. Apple inside of yesterday's range, but gapping down. So between PDC and PDL. So not very strong there to start the day on Apple. Amazon has found a bit of a bid, a bit of a gap up, tagging into previous day's high, pre-market, flushing back down. So that's going to be the trigger there on Amazon. Can it get back through previous day high and start to reclaim some of these key levels? It's definitely starting to box out here. All right, but you want to be careful if it does a failed look. But if it can sustain, then great. Many of these, I would imagine, might be waiting for earnings over the next week or two. Remember, earnings have already started. We've started to see some of the financial sector names, which haven't been too good, to be honest. But Taiwan Semiconductors was decent yesterday. All right, Goog, gap up. Previous day low left there. We did not sweep, so it's protected this low at 31s. You want to be careful if that 31 breaks now because you've got lots of buyer stops there and kind of boxed in as well. But we are gapping up. All right, as long as it holds a bid over 34, is going to try and get back up to those highs of yesterday of 39. So watching Goog to hold a bid of 34. If it fails that, it's a leave alone buy side. Meta. No, it's not pretty. It needs to hold a bid over 19s to get going. Failing of that bid will mean that this is like a two-leg building out liquidity versus this and failure. So it's got to hold 19s and reclaim 26s really to get going. If it fails 26s on a push and then loses 19s, then we're going to make new lows. So all to play for coming into earnings. Microsoft, that is terrible. Push yesterday's failed, repush failed, and can't reclaim. So far, not looking so good. Nvidia, this is where it starts to get interesting. All right, look at this move yesterday. All right, this is all off earnings. Nvidia starting to get going. Chips starting to look like they're maybe stronger than imagined. I think we had some memory names this morning, which also looked pretty good. So it probably caught a bit of a bid off there. You're looking for that 190 break on Nvidia. 190 break, and then you'd be targeting 193s. Let me just zoom this out a second. Yeah, 190 break to get to 193, not 194. And then that 196, big pivot. You can see this day here, 20th of November, huge pivot there. We're still boxed in Nvidia, just like the rest of the market, but it's stronger than the rest of the mag, or at least has been stronger yesterday than the rest of the mag. Tesla, I think it was a delay on, was it in Germany or some of the European look-ins to some of their automatic cars, so I can't imagine that's necessarily positive. Maybe just more sideways action here while it makes its mind up. And clearly 440 big level, and then 35s. All right, 40 and 35s. Do they hold bids there? Can they get back above 50s? Is going to be really the level. 45s and 50s. Let's have a look at some of the other chips. Oracle, that does not look good, so it's not catching a bid. AMD should be okay. Yeah, AMD looks good. That's a great start to the day on AMD. So really question, can it break above the 38s and get going on AMD? Big question mark, but that's what they'll be looking to do on an extension. And let's have just a quick look at some of these names down here. How long we got? We've got time. All right, IREM boxed in. IONQ boxed in. It looks a little bit weak there, to be honest. NVTS, same story. We're just not going anywhere. RGTI, same story. These are just messy charts. We're going to have to wait for hopefully earnings to get us out of some of this. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no, I would say coming into the session, there's no setup here, which I'm extremely excited about. It looks a bit messy. Not even a bit messy. It looks very messy. But we can watch to see if we're able to get over the 900s or if they fade those again. And we can watch these 800s and 750s to see if they grab bids or if they fade those again. So 800s and 750s and 900s, 925, 950. Those are the level. What data feed do I use for Bookmap? I buy the CME feed. You don't have to do that. You can try and use some of the prop firm feeds, but I just buy it for the sake of knowing that it works properly. I'd rather just buy it. All right, folks, make sure you've gone through your morning routine. Have you got your levels marked out? Are you fit, physically and mentally able to trade today? If the answer is no, you've got to ask yourself what you're doing here right now, because it's a Friday and you don't want to be giving back all your earnings from the week. Market finding a bid here just before the open, and it's trying to get up to those 900s we've talked about many times. 900s, 925s, they have remained big levels, and that is where it's trying to go. Zoom this in a bit. Yeah. Just over a minute left. Can I get the link for the data feed on Bookmap? It's on their website, guys. I'm not gonna do that for you. Just go on the website and buy the CME data package. It's on the website. That's all you have to do. Do you recommend a MacBook for trading? Absolutely not. Worst thing you can do. You need a PC for trading. I love MacBooks, but you'd be much better off building a decent spec PC and using it for trading. Most packages will not work with Mac. Yeah, we do have some news today. You're right. We should have gone over that. That's my bad. Home builder confidence as well as the orange man, as you call him, speaking at 10. So yeah, and then we've got Fed talk 10:50, 11 o'clock, and 3:30. All right, so just be aware of that. Right, 10 seconds left here, folks. Let's see. Most of the mag starting off green. Let's see if dips hold here this morning. Are they interested in holding dips to get up to the 900s? Are they going to hold the 800s? Or what are they looking to do? We're going to find out shortly. So far, that previous week value area high and previous day value area low being held, and they're trying to rotate into these 900s if they can. 5-day holding on the ES as well. 900 is where it's looking to go, if they can get going. You can see it's grey boxes, thick boxes where we have supply all the way up to sort of 907s, 925s. So here it goes. See if they can extend this through now. There we go. Nice. We have a little imbalance here into 87s. There's your imbalance. See if they squeeze through this to previous day point of control. So they're trying to get to the 900s like we talked about. Watch this New York Open now. If they hold a dip into New York Open for that extension into the 900s. If they lose New York Open, you'll probably get a rotation back down to 800 again. So here's the New York Open. They're trying to dip the New York Open. They're trying to get up to the 900s. There's a big, big seller up there at 84. If we go through him, we should run him. Here we go. So he reloaded there again. 900 almost got tagged, not too far away. That's where they're trying to get. That is for sure where they're trying to get. Point of control on the day up at 885 because there was a massive seller up there. So back to this New York Open again. So the 800 to 900 rotation, like we talked about pre-market, is what we've seen already off pretty much off the open. Just coming shy of it. Mag all green other than Goog, by the way. The mag all green other than Goog. We're right on that New York Open right now. So this grey box is your supply. You just came into this previous day point of control and current week point of control. And until we get a bid over that, they're going to keep getting stuck. If they get a bid over that, there is potential squeeze potential up into this next block. So we'd be watching 25s and 50s if they get over it, which they can't do at the moment. All right, I'll check the emails after, guys. It's the open. I will check after. I can't do everything at once. I have to also be able to trade, folks. All right, back down to test this previous day value area low, previous week value area high. Let's see if they back test New York and if they stay heavy and try and look for that flush, or if they're just going to re-squeeze it over that New York Open. It's very messy. Back down to value again, so the 800, the 900 to 800 rotation, and holding value area low from yesterday. ES is just not moving at all right now. Goog trying to find a bid here. Interestingly, what's Nvidia doing at the 89s? The 90 break is the big level, so they're trying to re-dip in the previous day value area low. That New York Open still not being able to close through yet. Here's the push back towards the New York Open. Like we said, they need to get through here if they're going to force the squeeze. They cannot just come up to here and do nothing. Big, big level here, this New York Open. They get through here, there's a chance for a squeeze back up to the highs. The sellers came in very, very aggressively at 85. So right here, there were some big market sellers into this 80 to 85. Big, big, big players. Through there, we can probably get going. Here we go. Okay, so let's see if we can get a push here. And be careful if in case they reload these 80s again. Watching the 900s. Can we get up into 900s? I'm very, very small size. Long here off value area low. In fact, I'm going to move my stop into 50 just to protect myself in case they do a nasty flush. We'll see, give it a chance. This is not very pretty. Are you going to take me out at 50 here? In the money, that would be 5 point in the money. They rebid again there. Seller got trapped at the low again there. We just wanted to close over New York Open and then to push through the 80s. That's where all the sellers got stuck. Well, they will get stuck if we get through 80s. Probably going to get taken out here because they're bidding under 50 now. So I bought 45, stops in at 50, trying to see if we can move higher. Going to tag me very close. Very close. Saved me by a tick or two there. And very close. Did I just got filled out there and you didn't actually hit me? Oh, you did hit me. Yeah, I'm done. Okay, wait for a reload here if it offers it. It literally did me to the tick there. Cannot believe that. You horrible bugger. You horrible, horrible, horrible bugger to the tick. Okay. I'm not in this now, unfortunately. Probably going to go now. So 80s are the level where the sellers came in this morning on that 932 candle. All right, 80s. Big player, 250 lot came in at 82. All right, at 82. I know, one tick tickle, cannot believe it. They knocked me out by a tick there. It hit 40. It literally hit me to the tick. I didn't think it traded through me. Literally hit me to the tick. Oh, it's going to go. You know what. You know what. All right, if you're in this long, okay, you're looking for a base over this New York Open, this blue line, and hopefully you get a drive into the 900s and 925s. You want to be trimming on the drive up, all right, because this is supply up here. They might well fade it. No, I would not. Like, why would anyone ever advise that, Matthew? Why would anyone ever advise that? What if a black swan piece of news came out and you were the wrong side of it? You'd lose everything. Morning, full forward. Okay, ES is so far holding VWAP and New York Open. NQ is not. MAG starting to rotate though. Apple, Amazon, and Google all just closed their gap and gone red now. Again, we have strength in the Qs versus the rest of the market. RTY 0.22% down, YM 0.02% down, ES 0.21% up, NQ 0.61% up. Chips have been a bit stronger today. But Google and Amazon just gone red. We are just stuck. It might be that we have to wait for earnings here. I don't know. Rick, I trade based on what's in front of me. If there's a trade out the gate and I can see participants stuck in a clear level to trade to, I will trade it. If not, I don't. It's not, for me, it's not a hard rule of like I have to wait 15 minutes or I have to wait 30 minutes. Back in the day, I used to have a rule like that, but I don't need that rule now. I will trade the liquidity in front of me. If there's a clear sentiment move and I know one side's stuck, I'll trade it. If not, like today, I didn't trade it. So today I waited for a dip down here, looking for that push and got stopped out. Right, you're coming back into where these sellers came in earlier into 82 and above. All right, so you need to clear them and they will start to stop out. And if they stop out, they become market buyers and you've got the chance to move higher. So anyone who's still holding this dip from 34s, right, you're trying to get through these 82s. 82s is a big level. If you can get through 82s, you can get up here. Right, that's where you're trying to get. We keep getting stuck in this node. This is a big level from yesterday. It's the big level from the week. You can see it on this chart here to make it make sense for you. Right, we keep getting stuck here and here. All right, so we're trying to trade from here to here. The question is, can we find acceptance over that? If we keep getting stuck from here to here, eventually it's possible that they come for this rotation. Not a very pretty market this morning. We have moved 56 points so far in the opening 10 minutes. Nvidia's doing the work. It's through the 190s, but the rest of the market not really willing to join in. No bid on Apple, Amazon, and Google. So maybe back down to these value area lows again. If they can't do this move here and they keep getting stuck, they'll come for the rotation again. If we lose this, we've got targets down below that they might want to wash to. And they come back down to the value again. Let's see if they hold this or if we're going to wash this out and come and attack. 800 and 750. Very possible if they lose it. Into the 25s on the Qs. I've seen a lot of people either skipping this and yesterday's PR getting chopped up. Would you say it's advisable to sit this sort of range out, to leave the range alone? I mean, if you don't like trading range, yes. But there were opportunities yesterday. We had 3 green trades on stream, and those in Discord, if they took the fade, I don't know if they did for the 800 that I called out. It was a nice move there yesterday as well. It's about patience and knowing what your trading style is, right? If you're a range trader, this should be your bread and butter. If you're not a range trader, then maybe it's more of a leave alone. Like, I'm very fussy with stuff like this, as you well know. Yeah, I can see that on CVD. But, you know, we're not breaking lower, so sometimes see that as the opposite way. It means someone's trying to absorb. The question is, are they able to keep bidding and bidding and bidding and bidding endlessly or not? Because if not, they're going to get broken. But I'm just not seeing much on the tape here. Like, we're very, very, very slow here this morning. Very slow. We've moved 50 points, right? Back into 24-hour VWAP, back into previous week value area low, back into previous day value area low. We're very slow. Let's get some volume on here now that we've been here a minute. VIX finding a bit of a bid here on previous day's low. That's not good for the market. We're at that 24-hour VWAP in those value area lows. Question is, do they rebid this again, or are they going to flush lower? I genuinely don't know here, folks, because it's so slow. All I know is there's a shelf here at 46, and we're not able to get above. So through 50, maybe they squeeze back up to 60s. But, I mean, you're talking about 10 points. It's pointless. Pointless. All the time they keep rejecting 50s. Maybe there's a flush lower like they're trying now. And they've got bids down to 800 here, like we talked about. So the 900 to 800 rotation, they didn't quite get to 900. They're 10 points short, and they're going to try and get down to the 800s now. It's the same stuff we talked about pre-market. It's the same levels. Nothing's changed. Very boring. Maybe there's nothing to be done here today. I don't know. If we do this all day, I certainly won't be trading it. Is trading my only source of income? Well, I mean, no. I'm a landlord, and I still make royalties off my music, but it is my main source of income, I would say, but not my only source. Okay, down to the 800s. I really like affordable indicators. I've never had a disconnection issue. I don't use anything web-based for that reason. I've always stated that. Too risky. I made music. Yes, I still make music for people every now and again. Okay, ES trying to find a bid. Q's a bit weaker here as we come down into the 800s. Look at this, tap back in towards the 845, 850 we just talked about. This thing does not know what it wants to do. It really does not know what it wants to do. So 10 points short of the 800 rotation, back into this shelf at 850. Are they going to try and find a squeeze through this, or are they going to reject it? I have no idea, folks, because the book is really not moving. ES back to its New York Open and VWAP already. Are the Qs going to find a bid here? Here's value area low on the day that it's trying to drive back through now. Do they reject this for a drive lower or not is the big question at this point. No. Okay, Jake, my friend, I cannot explain how much I've got on my plate right now. I will listen to the music when I'm ready to listen to the music. I have no bandwidth for anything. I'm really sorry. I appreciate that you've made probably some amazing tunes there, but at the moment, I just don't have the bandwidth for it. I'm really sorry, buddy. Give me a week or two. Yeah, this is my third day back trading. I promise I will listen to it all. Same with the stuff that's posted in Discord. I promise. I just need a bit of time. ES really pushing now through the New York Open, trying to reclaim its VWAP. And you'll be watching that 7,000 level on ES. You think I'll get a laugh? Okay, well, I'll make sure I try and make the effort to get it. ES cannot get through. It's trying. Market feels like it's asleep right now. Apple now 0.25% down. Amazon 0.29% down. Google 0.15% down. Meta 1% up. Microsoft 0.65% up. Nvidia 1.50% up. Back under that 190 though. Tesla 1.61% up. It's just not moving, folks. They don't know what they want to do it. Funny, I never knew who you were and so happened to see your first day back this week. What do you mean you didn't know who I was? Still no movement here. Are they going to stay heavy versus this? I just don't want to preempt a short, but maybe if we do this, there's this, but I'm also very aware that we can do this and re-squeeze. It just feels very iffy. They're still holding value right now. Just gross. Just gross. Previous day's point of control, previous day value very low. If we let go of this, maybe there's a move down, but I do not want to preempt it. Starting to see some heaviness come in the tape here. Can they rotate this? Force break, maybe. The bid at 800. Let's have a look below. There's not much below right now. Very strong selling here getting absorbed. Look at all this, all being absorbed down here under 820. If they reclaim, they will squeeze, but they're going to have to get through the 50s. So Waiting to see if they want to do that or not. Still a buyer at 800, not been filled though. So ugly, man. It's barely moving. Yeah, probably waiting for 10. And you've also got news, not just Trump. You've got a news piece dropping. Still rejecting previous week value area high, previous day value area low. So if they want to trade outside of it, they want to do it now. And they've got to start getting below these 20s though. It's all sell side from 20s down to the current New York low of day. There is a bid at 800. Still just waiting. I don't feel confident for a continuation short here. Just because it's how it's moving. It's a good chance they probably do it and just slam it. I'm okay missing that. I don't like how we're moving right now. Yeah, it means momentum is downside right now. But I'm waiting to have confirmation of location. We're trying to move outside of value. There is a chance that we move down here. But what I'm seeing within this at the moment is not making me full of confidence that we're going to snap lower. Every move under 820 is being absorbed, right? So everything under here is being absorbed. So I'm just aware of that. Maybe too aware of it, but it's a Friday. I don't want to go giving back my week. If we lose this, though, we can really trade those 750s quickly. Doesn't look good. It looks like we might go 750s. Here's the 800 test again. So 900 to 800 rotation complete. Pretty much. There or thereabouts. 750s is next level below if they lose this, just based on where nodes are. You can see this box down here. It's basically the next level. So here's 800. Someone keeps buying. And they're adding 775 now. That 20 is a big level. Everything below sell side. But it's starting to really look like it wants to get going here. Big seller coming there at 800. Maybe that was a rotation. I missed it. I don't know. I just don't like how we're moving. We are literally dripping down. Yes, looking like coming in a break now. So 50s are on deck here. If you did take this short versus this, the next level is down here into this blue box. It's very possible. Kind of kicking myself for not taking this little move here. That might be an error on my behalf. Back to the 800s. 20s is the level that bulls will need to reclaim. Everything below that is sell side. Until they reclaim that, there's absolutely no long. This is just dripping down lower at the moment. And we could contemplate a gap fill, I guess. Couldn't rule it out. 700 if they lose 750. ES is almost at gap fill already. It only needs another, what, 6 points or something. Here comes the drive towards the 50s that we just talked about, this blue box. It is very slow on the tape, honestly. Here it comes. So your first TP just tagged here, this first blue box. So if you did take the short from here to here, to here and down here next if you get there. Remember, we haven't had a bid back up to resell. This is why I'm like skeptical, because this is like literally being dripped down. But it doesn't mean they can't keep doing it. They absolutely can. Sellers in control from 80s now. They've built up like a nice little shelf there at 80s. So all the time they're under 80s, sellers are in control here. Into this first box. Let's see if they can get to the second one for you guys. So you can watch this shelf here on the current week's value. It really thickens out into 50s, which is why we have that marked. And then under that, you've got a little bit room into sort of 720s, and then previous week POC 675. Sorry. What a nice trade, man. Just didn't see what I wanted to see there, but there we go. It is what it is. It is what it is. VIX starting to get going. It's about to close its gap here on the VIX. ES trying to do the same. It's going for gap fill here. Oh, that is probably trade of the day. It's going to be a 100-pointer one by the time it gets down there. Never mind. Apple, the heavy one, approaching 0.5% down. That thing cannot catch a bid recently. So many red days, it's insane. More heaviness here. No bid back up yet. They're bidding 25s at the moment. ES almost gap filled, so probably you want to watch that gap fill on ES. Gap fill on ES will be, what, 81, 82, 81, 75, 82. It's almost there. Cash gap, which is about to be tagged by the looks of it. And it's trying. There's a bit of front running in front of it. Pretty much there. Missed it by a tick. VIX closes its gap. ES very, very close. SPY very, very close. Q's a way to go all the way down into here, into the 700s. So you're losing these 50s now. If you lose 50s, you're going to come 20s and 700s. If you reclaim 50s, I'd say over 55. You've built some shelf here. Over 55, they might give you some relief to sort of 80. I don't think this is finished yet. I do not think this is finished yet. This is just dripped down. Look at this from here, just straight drip down. Drip, 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 drip. Not aggressive, just controlled selling down so far. It will get aggressive when they start to pop all the stops. Is the push to 50 like we just talked about. This is where sellers will want to protect around here, sort of 55, and resell it if they can. ES now close the gap. SPY now close the gap. Qs have not closed the gap. Yellow line is your gap fill. That's your next target if you can get down into it. Here they go. And Apple and Google selling, pulling this market down. Yep, news in 1 minute. Actually, in about 20 seconds from now. Almost at PDC. Make sure you're covering some into this in front of the news in case they do something horrible. This is being dripped down. You just don't know if they're going to do something absolutely disgusting with it and just push it straight back up to resell it. So just make sure you're paying yourself some money into these positions. These are the boxes that we had interest in. Get rid of this now. Yeah, this is your weekly current week value area low right here. You're correct. This blue line, and then PDC underneath, and previous week point of control underneath. So these are some cover points for you down here. Oh my gosh. That is a miss and a half there from me. I was too concerned about them doing something nasty, and that is just a straight rip lower. So VIX approaching the 16s now. What was the break it needs to do? 16.25 is where it will get nasty for this market if the VIX starts breaking through that. Can't catch them all yet. On to the next trade. It's okay. It is what it is. It is what it is. So your next TP is down into here. These blocks here. And then under there, you've got quite a way to go. Let me just check. There's a little shelf at 6. Let's just call it 650. But you've got room if it starts really letting go here. If they go into panic mode, you do have room. Gap now pretty much filled. Not quite filled, but pretty much filled. Google just getting hammered here. Hardest thing is there's no pop to sell either. It's just been straight down. No relief bounce. Not even a bounce back up to 50s where we have a little bit of a shelf up here. Nothing. They're selling everything right now. And it's pretty controlled. Okay, it's the edge of 30s. They're still selling 30s. If we get relief through 30s, we probably go 50s. I'll see how we act once we get up there. Still not quite filled that gap. Very, very close. They're still selling 30s. So we can't get relief through 30s to 50s. There's no way I'm selling 30s just to try and get down to 05s. No chance. Okay, here's 30s again. Can they get relief through 30s to 50s? Can they lift up to 50s? Here we go. All right, I want to see how we act when we get up into here. A little bit higher would be nice. All right, let's just see now. I want to see if anyone gets caught up here or if they're going to go full relief and go all the way back up because we've been straight down. The problem is, so they need to defend this now or around here. So I'm waiting to see if buyers get caught here. If not, then they'll probably get a squeeze relief all the way up. So you can see this 30s lift straight into 50s like I just talked about. We have to see what happens now. There's the 50s sell. So your rotation now is 50s to 30s while they make up their mind, all right? So sellers just defended this, selling here back down to here. I want to see if we cover some here, and if not, we can get continuation underneath. And if we get relief, we can go all the way back up here because this is one straight move that lacks any structure. All right, so you have to be careful if you're going to sell this now. It's not an ideal position, but it is a location to sell. Here we go, nice. All right, trim some here, and let's see if we can get down to PDC. At least I got a little piece, tiny little piece. If they reclaim 50s, certainly if they reclaim 54s, then a squeeze back up is going to happen. So I'm not going to hold above that. If they do look above and fail, I'll cut it, re-enter on the way back down. I do not want to see this back above sort of 55. So if we go above 55, you're probably going to see squeeze relief all the way up to 800s again. Nice, Josh. Great work. Yeah, it was a big miss on my behalf there. All right, getting ready to cut the runner here. So covered some into the 30s like we talked about for the rotation. If they get squeeze relief, this thing can go. So I'm not going to hold on to it because we're very thin. And if it wants to pump straight up to 800 or 820, it will. ES reclaiming PDC. Google catching a little bit of a bid. No matter what, I'm going to be in the money here. It doesn't matter what happens, I'll be in the money. I'm happy to flip long. If we break above 50s in base, I would even consider it. I would consider it. Not my favorite trade, but I would consider it. So far, the short still holding up. What's that node? 50 to 824. Yeah, I just don't want to get caught in a 70-point squeeze out here. Cutting here. Can always re-add. Just cut the runner there, could always re-add. In case they want to come all the way up. And we've got imbalances all the way up to 97. This is a question. If this is a look above and fail, do they rebid this here at 50s? If they rebid it, then I think we squeeze. If they don't rebid it, then that was just a little look above and fail, run the stops, and then come back down. We haven't closed the gap yet. Already failing. Nice. Okay, let's see. If they don't hold this little shelf, we're going to trade the next shelf below. Otherwise, there's a two-leg possible here for relief up into these 800s. Okay. Come on, market. Make your mind up, please. These like stops are so ridiculous how much you slow down. Pablo, I genuinely don't think I could explain it anymore if I tried. I think I've explained everything about as straight up as I could be. If they hold 50s, there's a squeeze up to here. If they don't hold 50s, then this is a look above and a fail to close the gap. All right. If they hold 50s, then this. And if people say you're giving us both directions, that's because the market has the opportunity to trade both directions at the moment. What I do know is this is one straight move down. And if they want to be nasty and do this above here, they can. So I want to be very cautious on the short here. I'd much rather we finish the short and close the gap. But I also know ES has already closed it. We're trading back inside current day's value now, or attempting to. And we're building out volume. POC shifted down here now and into 50s. So bulls will want to defend this area. If they defend this, they know they have the potential to have a squeeze up. If they lose this area, we have unfinished business below for the closing of the gap and previous week POC. But yeah, I'm trying to be like make it as clear as possible before. Even from here, I told you 30 to 50 will be the relief. I'll try and resell that and I'll scalp some. Scalp some, stop me out, not holding on to runner in case we go back upside. If we start losing it again, I'll re-enter short again and start trying to get the close. Probably need to build out a little bit more liquidity here. They are adding bids at 700, so maybe we can come and clean those up if we get very, very lucky here. But I just don't want to front run this because they're still absorbing these just under 50s, keeps being absorbed. 50 is POC right now. It's fair value on the session. Sellers came in hard under 30, so I want to respect that because we are over that. So sellers under 30 are trapped. If we keep holding 50, there is relief up to 800. VIX failed that pivot at 16 that we talked about. It's such a clear fail. Definite buyer here. Keep trying to absorb into 50s, trying his best. I'd like to see him just piss off so we can get a rotation lower now. Still there. He's holding the imbalance here. Come on. We want to come lower at this point. There we go. Start digging in, please. Looking to see if we can rotate back down here. Just want to be careful of this buyer who keeps coming in here at 40 and at 25s. Come on. I want to be very, very careful as we trade into 30s because we know sellers got stuck. If we can get back under there, we have more downside. Here we go. Beautiful. So it was a little look above and fail. Just want to make sure we trade under 28s, really. That's where the sellers really got stuck, 28s and under. So don't want this dip here to hold. I want to trade under this now. If this dip holds, I want to be very, very careful. Make sure it takes some profit again, just like last time. Here's the 30s test. Really good. Now, can we make a new low of day? Can we get under these sellers who are trapped here from the move down at 10 a.m.? Can we get a new low of day here? Making sure I'm paying myself in case they want to hold this level, but holding runners for the break lower. So 28s got traded there to the tick. We just talked about the 28s. So paying myself into 28s. We want 40s to stay heavy, otherwise I will cut because this can be a higher low. So I want to be careful here. Looking for this to stay heavy and trade under here now. I need it under here now. All right. Anything that does this, I'm out of the short. Make that very, very clear for you guys. You want to be careful if ES holds its PDC as well. Just stuck between these two nodes, 30 to 50. The market is bearish overall in this session. Just can we get outside of this weekly value area low? Can we expand weekly value area low here? Can we get a new low of day? Can we close this gap? Here we go. Come on, runner. Let's go, baby. Let's go for gap fill and below. It'd be really nice. Should get a new low of day here now, guys. This is what we were looking for. So trading into low of day. We want to see a snap of low of day. We want to trade under 705s if possible. And then we can look for 685. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. I've got some limits out here at PDC. If you protect PDC, I'm going to be very upset with you. Looking for 705s and then looking for 685 here, folks. Looking for 705s and 685s. The yellow line and then previous week point of control. Want to be very careful. Already trimmed some into here. We want this to now reject. We don't want to reclaim with this. All right. If this comes up here, we want a rollover. All right. TP, TP. If we get really lucky, we'll come down here. That would be very lucky. Well, we do not want a reclaim of 40s now or 37s. Want this to stay heavy. I'm going to get a refill. Let me just move my stop in the money, make sure these limits are out. There we go. All right, be right back. Looks good. Buyers just came in there and got trapped. Looks good. We're going to get it. We should get it here. We should get it here. Come on. We should get it here. They should flush this now. Take out all this liquidity all the way down to 90. Come on. Stop faffing. ES loses PDC, and it will really help us. Very, very close to TP. I can't believe it's teased so much. Come on. Woo! Thank you. All right, let's see if we can get a runner to really start going here now. Nice work. Nice work. So TP hit there, and we'll see if we can get down into this next box. So gap now filled, this yellow line. You can see why I had my limit there. Gap now filled, cash gap, for those wondering, cash gap. And then we're looking for previous week point of control, and if we get really lucky down here. So I missed this whole move, and I had to have 2 attempts at that. Attempt 1, all right, took some out here, stopped out here, just in case we got relief. But once we came back downside, in again, TP1, TP2. I did cover a little bit into 30 again in case. And then we'll see now. We will just see. Can we get going? Be nice if we could. Took shorts on the pullback. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what to do. Just hit your TP. Why was stop at 37? Was my stop at 37? I don't know if it was at 37. I think it was above 33. Maybe it was at 37. I can't remember. But it's just this shelf here. I wanted this shelf being protected once I left the desk. Right, this shelf here, this volume. $25,620 should be last resort and defend zone today. $25,620. 640 to 570 is a level. 640 to 570 is a level. Here we go, folks. All right, next TP now hit. Lovely. All right, and now it's just a question of can we get all the way down into here, which would be amazing if we did. And if we did a measured move, it would probably work out perfectly with this leg. If we went leg to leg, there you go. So if we're going to get this same leg again, we might well get this, which would be really good. Which would be a great day, considering I missed all the top side move down. So here we go, just managing the positions now. Banked trade, got a runner, good call. I was uneasy about that small pullback. I entered small and scaled in. That's the way to do it, man. Enter small and scale in. I didn't know if we'd do it first time or we did exactly what I talked about. Maybe we'd do a little look above and fail. All right, but I have to be cautious on here because this is such a big move. We enter short here. There's no guarantee that they don't do that at that point because there's a lack of structure in here. But once we rolled over again, right? We got short again. So it took 2 attempts, right? It took 2 attempts, but that's trading. We're not going to get it perfect every time. All we can do is position for the move. So it's just a question of, can we get down into here now? We know this is a massive level here. I'd say shorts want to control 700 now. They want to control 700. This level here, 713. So we can make this as like, let's do it as grey, because I don't want to give you guys too much sentiment here, but we can move. Definitely 700 is a little spike, but sort of here really is more, but I'd be watching 700 whole level. But this here, and then if they base, if you get a push and they do this, I'd be very cautious about this move to fill in this low volume node. All right, so shorts will want to defend this or defend this if they want continuation early. If you get a base over this, you want to be careful of a squeeze back out. It's a shame it's just moved that. So testing towards this 700. 700 is where a big seller came in. It's more likely where a buyer just stopped out at 700 on that flush down at 1019. So we're coming to test that delta there. I can show you right here. This right here. All right, we're coming to test this guy. Hopefully you guys can see that. I don't know. I have to zoom it up. Right here, we're coming to test this guy here in this imbalance. And if we squeeze through this, we're going to come and test this level here, where the buyers came in. So that refresh seller at 700 still present. Where do you have your runners stops? I've just left the up here, in here, where it was before, just at here. So I've only got a little micro on now, so we either get down here or we don't, and that's okay. I'm all out. I would have to wait for another pop-up. Yep. And just remember, we've hit a lot of low-hanging fruits. Look, we've closed the gap. We've hit previous week point of control. There's no reason to be long in this. We are in trend down. I was worried that here, right, this is the reason I didn't enter this, is in here, I didn't see enough in the tape to make me think we were going to flush. And then we kept absorbing the 820s over and over and over again. Everything under 820 kept getting absorbed. And I was like, I want to be careful for this move here. But they just dripped it. It's not like we snapped. They literally dripped it down. So that's why I didn't get short. I just didn't see. It's actually a really good setup, but I didn't see inside the tape what I'd want to see there. I didn't see it, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have got short there. So I had to wait, right? So I missed all of this, and then we have to wait for this. And if they start reclaiming here, then we have to consider whether this market wants to move back for relief over 55s and 60s. All right, so big bounce here. Like we talked about, through the 700s, we come back into this node. This is value area low on the day, so these sort of 37s, same level as earlier. If we get through grey box, certainly if we get through 55, there will be squeeze relief in this market. All right, because you don't want to be short lower day, right? So think about anyone that got short low of day. Where did all those shorts come in? 700 and 690 was a big level of shorts. We're now testing the shorts that came in at 10 a.m., which is at the sort of 27, let's just call it the 30 level that we had before. And if we reclaim that, we're going to go to point of control, which is at 50. This is my POC that I'm looking at. I know up here on TradingView it's up here, but for me it's here. So this is sentiment, all right? Do we refade that or is it relief? Both are available. I want to make that clear when I say that, because both are available. When we come into a level, we need to see what the market wants to do. Do aggressive buyers come in and get absorbed? If so, we're going to play short. Do aggressive sellers come in and be absorbed? If so, we're probably going to get long relief. Your analysis are amazing. Your reading the market is just like a book. Thank you, Pablo. Green Fridays are great on a long weekend. Thanks, Alex. You're welcome, dude. Decent day considering where it started out. Done for the day on the funded accounts, green for the day and the week. Have a great weekend, Alex. Heading out to the business that pays the bills. Cheers, brother. You're welcome, Rob. Pass to Eva on that move. Thank you, kind sir. You're welcome. You're welcome. Flow zone, would you not look at the put and call walls to take the short? You can look at the put and call walls. I'd be focusing them on the ETFs if you're going to do that. How long do you need before to get profitable after you start a trade? How long do I need, or how long did you need? Everyone's different. It depends. I would say on a lot of things. Depends on how you absorb information, how much time you spend on the screens, how good your mentor is, how disciplined you are. I had some terrible habits when I started trading because I had an awful mentor. All right, so I'd be picking tops non-stop, getting blown up. All right, so it's really about changing that, making sure you start with a decent mentor. It doesn't have to be me, just someone that can teach you well, and someone that teaches how I always talk about in a pedagogy that makes sense to you. If you're a visual learner, you're going to need someone that talks that way. If you need storytelling, you're going to need someone that talks that way. Right? I can't listen to someone just talking technical when I'm a beginner. It doesn't make sense to me, so I have to paint the picture. Can I use a EMA 200 to see if we go further down? We're rejecting EMA 200 on the 1 hour. Yeah, if that works for you, I do use that. I use it on a 5 minute. We broke the 5 minute 200 today and then started flushing. We're right back down at the daily mean right now. One of the things I'm very aware of at the moment is this. Okay, look at the contraction of the Bollinger Bands. Right, next week they're going to be like here and here, and all the EMAs tight. At some point, we can't do this forever, guys. I want you to understand. These are going to get tighter and tighter. This is where squeezes happen. All right, when we get contraction of Bollinger Bands, like here, and then we explode out, like here, and then we explode out. All right, we cannot keep contracting these Bollinger Bands on the daily. At some point, it's going to get painful. This cannot last forever. It will not last forever. We're back into this low volume node on the daily again now as well. This grey box. Okay, so rejecting is a good rejection of 30, so hopefully we can still move lower. Thanks, Spearfishing. Appreciate that. You've been my favorite out of everyone I've watched so far. Got my first payout watching you. That's awesome, Grey Kitty. I'm barely profitable at 2 years. Most of the work was mental and discipline. So, Shiz, the question would be, were you taught bad habits? Were you taught at all? Have you had to learn on your own? Like, there's lots of things that can slow down your ability to become profitable. I bought the 20-hour course. It's working for me. I just need to put in the reps. That's it. Just put in the reps, man. Here we go. Let's see if we can get a break below here now for some continuation. Ideally, we get a break below and we hit this TP down here. It'd be really nice. I will say, lots of sellers came in at previous week point of control. Like very, very, very heavy selling came in there. So really, we do need this to stay heavy now under the, say, sort of 86s. Where did this guy start with his 100 lot? 25, 99, 124. Yeah, we want breaks below now. We look good for it. Here we go, new lower day. Let's see if we can get down into this next block. I want this to stay heavy versus, I'd say, sort of 90s and 700s now. Really good. Come on, let's come down. Let's pay the team. Did I take any trades? Yes, we're short from here. I've had 3 goes today, so I think I was long this dip this morning for here. And then I was short here, covered, stopped out. So made sure I made my money and then reshort again and cover, and then waiting to see if we get lucky and get down into there. Initial balance now set, folks. Purple line on your screen. All right, so just be aware of that. I would like to catch the bottom. Do you think it's going to fill up at a bottom? What do you mean fill up? Why do you want to catch a bottom? If we're breaking away, why do you want to catch the bottom? It's very risky. We're in a weak market right now. Be cautious about trying to do that. Metal selling off? Yeah, I mean, they're just releasing some of that squeeze. I mean, silver's still trading at 87s. I mean, it is absolutely insane. They're just releasing some of that squeeze. That's all it is. Alex is the best. I'm out of this short. Great guidance. You're welcome, Dave. On Nvidia, yeah. I mean, it's not just Nvidia. It's the whole market, man. The whole market. The rotation is taking place in this market. Look at RTY, right? 0.03% up on the day, right? We are seeing broadening of the market. You've got to remember, for as long as I can remember, the market was narrowing. What do I mean by that? The MAG was up. The MAG 7 were up, and everything else for 2 years has been doing bugger all right? Been doing absolutely nothing. So we're having a rotation out of tech at the moment, into the mids, into the small caps, back into healthcare, maybe into finances if they can start posting good earnings, which they didn't do yesterday. So we're seeing a broadening of the market rather than it being concentrated in 7 names. We're starting to move it into 500 plus names, which is good for the market, but it means you're seeing profit taking. What would the catalyst be? There's 2 options here. Either the tech earnings are not what was anticipated and they sell off. And if we sell those tech earnings off, then I expect a big sell in this market overall, because they're still worth 60% of the Qs. Or if the earnings are good, if it's like, hey, we've got more room with this AI bubble, we've got more room in the chip space, we've got more room in the energy providers for that nuke, etc., we've got more room in the data centers to go, then maybe we rebid it up. Both are possible. Look at the daily, like we just talked about. All right, it's right at the mean. Nice, Alan. Nice. All right, breaking lower here on ES, still driving down. SPY now taking out previous day's low. All right, so on the cash ETF, previous day low has been taken out on SPY. Qs, by the way, have taken out previous day low on the cash ETF. But on the futures, we need to come down to here to do the same thing. But on the ETF, on the cash side of the market, we have taken out the lows. VIX breaking through 16s now. 1620s or 16... Let me just check this pivot that I have marked out. 16... We'll call it 25 to 30 is the pivot break on the VIX. If we break through that, then market might get very, very, very heavy. Yeah, metals are selling off together. But silver's in 6% down. Gold's just 1.77% down. You know, it's to be expected, folks. It was a giant squeeze, right? It's a giant squeeze up. It doesn't mean it's the end. Remember, gold did this move maybe 2 months ago. We did a big squeeze and then we pulled back for a good few weeks and then started to grind back higher and explode back out. It's not necessarily done. It was definitely past 2 standard deviations. Silver was probably past 4 by now. You can have a look if you want. We can have a look if you want. Get you on. Oh, it wasn't. It was just at 2. That's impressive. All right, so back down to 5-day. Silver can afford to drift right back down into this pocket and then rebid if it wants. All right, mean is all the way down here. Look how big these Bollinger Bands are. It's hugging 5-day top Bollinger. That is a healthy trend. All it's doing is pulling back to 5 days. It's not taking out any big levels yet. It's just a pullback until it proves otherwise on silver. Okay, looking good here. See if we can keep drifting lower into here, ideally. You can move your stop down and protect 675 now if you want. Just keep managing this position. Almost at 100 points. Another 10 points here and we'll be a 100-point trade. Yeah, move your runners. Yeah, I would say like you'd want to protect sort of this previous week point of control now. You don't really want it coming back over that. Right, so we can protect here and see if we can get down into this. Really strong selling here, guys. We could get 600s quick here. They're bidding at 600 at the moment, so hopefully we come down into that and fill these guys. Here's a 100-pointer off the pullback. So if you missed that first move, we got the second move, we got a 100-pointer. All right, so from 30s to 30s is a 100-pointer for you. But they are bidding now. 620, 600, and then 575. I can see them all. 575 is where we would want to go. Previous day open is 590. Previous day low is 560. Previous week value area low is around that 575. So ideally we come down there. It might be that we need relief before we do it. It very, very well might be that this market does not come down here in one go. It might be that it squeezes up before it does it. So just manage your position. If you're not willing to give back all the way to 76, then make sure it rejects the IB, for example. Let's sneeze here. Sorry. Where's my music? Well, I don't really promote my new stuff, but I used to be in a duo called Tough Love back in the day. You can listen anywhere. All the usual places, Spotify. John, great call out again this morning. These setups are great. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, buddy. I feel cold coming on here. Apex sale just got extended to the 22nd of this month, folks. So if you are looking to buy those 80% off, code FCT, we will do a giveaway on stream later today, as always. I just seen Nathan. Did I message you? Let me get you set up, my friend. Give me a second. Okay, almost there, folks. We are almost there. Looking good. Looking good here. So we can see liquidity sat here, 615, 600, 580. Looking good, folks. $420 is definitely not target. That is asking a huge amount for today. I mean, if it did it, it'd be insane. It'd be very, very good. Obviously, that's the low pivot. But I think we need to respect these levels, right? We need to respect where we're coming into. We're at a node now. All right, let me zoom out again so you can see what I'm always looking at. All right, we're into this node here. The next node down is 580, and the previous week value area low, all right, is right here at sort of 560. So we know somewhere in here, this market is likely to find a bid, all right? If we're going to trade outside of previous week value area low, then we're going to respect this level here, 495. All right, just call it 500. All right, so if the market gets weak, 500. If you get very lucky, you'll get your 420, but that's asking an awful lot. That's we traded from 900, so it'd be, you know, it's almost a 600 point day down. It's not unheard of. I've seen 1,000+ point day, but we want to be careful thinking about that. At the moment, we're seeing a two-leg, a failed follow-through, and finally losing it. We want to be careful into here. If we start getting heavy under here, then yes, absolutely sentiment shifts to a big, big, big sell for next week. Right, and there's a bid here at 680 or 150 lot really. They're double stacked, and then 95 is trying to scoop. 580's just left the bid, move back down to 570s. All right, so I'd like to see 600 taken out, but just, you know, like, if you want to take profit into here, you can. I'm ideally trying to get like a little bit more, but I know there's a good chance we will stop around here, so I might actually manage my stop and pull it down to 630s to protect here. In fact, I will do that. All right, so stop here now, 630. Technically, you could put your stop the other side of this shelf, but I just don't want to give too much back. It's a really nice trade. So I'm going to lock in my runner for 100 points no matter what. And if we get down to here, great. Joined your session for the first time, trying to broaden my trading knowledge. Trading small, but 5 profitable days this week. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. You are absolutely welcome. Wild, good tune. Glad you like it, mate. That's with Haley May on, I think. Trump, I may put a tariff on countries that don't go along with the Greenland. Oh. He may find that everyone stops working with him altogether. This is about as much as a dictatorship as we've seen in the modern era for a democracy. Did I have a macro to take on lower move this morning? Is in a fundamental? No, not specifically, other than the rotation. It was more just technical break that we just broke. All right, under 600 we came, finding a bid. Like I said, I'm not going to let this come back above 30 here. If it doesn't make this, it doesn't make it. It's okay. But we, like we just talked about, we are going to find a bid anywhere from now, where we are now, down into 570. All right, so we might find a bid early. In fact, if we look at what I just showed you, look at where we've just found a bid. This is the importance of understanding volume. This shelf, look at this little shelf here that spikes out. Okay, this shelf here, look at where we've just found a bid. Right on this node. If I paint this node for you, right on this little node, we've just found a bid. All right, it doesn't mean that we bounce from there and go all the way up. It just means that this was a cover point. Everyone else will be looking for this. If they do want to find relief, right, then they're going to need to trade through the 640s. So there's possible relief if they want to 640, through 640, back to value, through there, back to 720s again. All right, so just pullbacks can happen here. We've been strong, move lower. We haven't really had many pullbacks. If we zoom out, all right, we haven't really had much of a pullback, have we? So we got stuck in this grey box, which is current week and previous day. We failed underneath. Alex was an idiot and missed this sell. It's okay. We missed it. We join in. We fade it. All right. There hasn't been much of a pullback. These are not big pullbacks. If this market wants to come back up here and test it, It can do that. It's absolutely fine to do that. I'm not going to sit through that though. If they want to refade it, they will. If they want to reclaim, they will. If they want to go back into balance, they will. Anything is possible. I need you guys to understand that. When you have mentors saying this is absolutely what the market has to do, yada, 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 they are straight lying to you. Market will do whatever it wants to do. Typical micro size on a trade, how much do you scale out of it? It all depends on the size of the account I'm trading, right? So if you're starting off on a 50K account, my starter would be like 1, 2, 3 micros, adding into it as it starts to like confirm up for me. I'm willing to add like decent size all the way into it. And I mean, I really haven't got enough size on this one here, but it's okay. But you know, if you get one micro to do a runner of 150 points and you lock in 5 at 100 points, that's a decent day still. I'd rather do that and trade to my levels than have a mini on and look for 8 ticks or whatever people do. I just think that's mental. That makes no sense to me. But each to their own. Who is they when you talk about they? They are market makers. They are funds, right? If we just view the market as one single entity, it's the best way to view the market. It's not actually a single entity, but if you view the market that way, you make it much easier for yourself. That's just Wyckoff theory. What about 300K account? What's the drawdown on a 300K? How much drawdown are you allowed? Like 6K or something? You could probably put 3 minis on. If it's 6 to 9K draw, you could get 3 minis on and scale up. Depending on the ATR, 1 to 3 minis, I'd say. Okay, if you look at the VIX, it tried to get through that 1630. We talked about it all morning. If we poke through 16, we'll go 1630. It's tried to get through it. It's just had a false break. So it needs to hold a bid now down to 1612s, maybe even 16s. If VIX holds a bid there and it wants to go for previous day high into 1650, then the market will stay weak. If this is a look above and fail on the VIX, then we're going to see relief in this market. So we have to see how we go here. But CVD is still very, very heavy, in line with the market. We are starting to build a bit of a shelf here. If we start breaking above 17s, then you can imagine a pop up to these soon. Starting to see that move. So just be careful here. Manage your position. It might be that I end up taking this off here. It might need a 2-leg. If they're going to go for that previous day low, it might need the 2-leg to refade. I don't really want to give back 70 points, right? So I might well cut this here if I'm honest, because I don't want to get caught in a candle coming up here. Where's this node? 30s. 30s is still the level for me. Through 30s I cut. I'm not going to hold through 30s. Just started following you this week. Glad to have found a fellow Brit, and I like the way of trading. What indicators are you using? This is just my Flowzone Pro. All right, so a version of this comes with the course, or you can upgrade, or you can buy it on my website, flowzonetrader.com. Other than that, this New York session VWAP, it just saves me having to anchor it each day. That was built by a student of mine. It's just private for guys in the Discord, I believe. And then just anchored volume profile. That's it. It's not a lot. It might look like a lot. All I'm looking at is what is the momentum? Oh, right. What is the momentum? We move into a sell. What is the momentum? Where are the VWAPs? What is the volume? If I move out of here, what is the sentiment, which comes with the momentum? And then key levels. Horizontal lines on my chart are just key levels. Previous day low. They're just open, high, lows, and closes on dailies and weeklies. That's all they are. And then initial balance, opening range. See the opening range trade away from that today. It was a fail. All right, so once we left 15-minute, this box here, opening range, fail, and initial balance so far failing. These are all in one indicator though. These are all in the Flow Zone Pro. Right, it's just one. Am I still in the trade? Yes, but I'm about to cut it because we keep approaching these 30s. And we're holding dips now into a blue level I have on NinjaTrader. So I've given this a little bit of room to 35, but I've probably got to cut this here because we're about to start squeezing. In fact, I'm going to just take this off here and not even worry about it. That's me done. Don't want to sit through this. It might be that we reflush. We haven't taken out the previous day low, but that's good enough for me. 100 points on the runner. Maybe could have locked in an extra 40 points, but it's fine. So there we go. I don't want to get caught in whatever comes now, because there's a chance for this, if it really wants to come and reprice up into here. Could have taken more off here, I guess, but if you're going to be a nasty bugger and do it, you can still hold for this. Trend is still good. But yeah, I'm now out. I didn't want it to come through this node, which we just did. Joined your session for the first time this week, trying to broaden my trading knowledge and consistency. Trading small, but 5 days this week. Sorry, I'm having to like catch up with all the everything here. I'm a bit blinded by this big move down. Took my profits, but helped my itchy finger here. What's the next key level it might move up from? I mean, we're into a node now, Joe, but like it's very possible it comes to previous week value area low. It's very possible we come down here. We have previous week low. I don't know where it stops. We haven't broken the weekly low. We're still just sideways. I know we're in a sell, but this is just like yesterday. If we look at a daily, right, we're just doing the same thing as yesterday. Nothing's actually changed. Right, we're still wedged in. Wedged in. Most of the volume is taking place in here. Right, it's not like we're seeing this or seeing this. So we are building so much liquidity here, it's insane. I will say this is often what tops start to look like. If we have a look, I'll pull you over here. Right, if we look at how we often like to top, they don't happen overnight. Last year, December, failed to make a new high, lots of sideways liquidity. October, failed to make a new high, lots of sideways liquidity. Once we break, nasty. Okay, we had catalyst for that, which was tariffs. Yeah. Sideways, build lots of liquidity, failed to make a new high, big pullback. We can go back miles as well. Same story here. Same time of year, end of year, failed to make a new high, sideways for a few months, and then get hammered. COVID, I'm not going to talk about because it's a completely different situation. Here's the same, 2018, failed to make a new high, Q4 into Q1. Same again here. This one actually makes a new high. That was the divergence. If we go back to 2016, you can see contracting of Bollinger Bands. Sideways for a long time, into Q4 into Q1, fade. It seems to always be Q4 into Q1. We did do it in the summer as well, same fade. Same thing over and over again, guys. Where's 08? Yeah. Q4, failed to make a new high, recession. It's not like it's uncommon what we're doing. And the other thing is we haven't tested the 200-day or the 200-week in forever. Right, here's the 200-day, just sat here, waiting to be tested on this pivot. 200 weeks probably down here somewhere, right? We need to test that. It's a healthy market when we test it and absorb it. We trade under, we trade over, we absorb, we go. We actually need a back test of this. It would be healthy for the market to do it. So it's not unusual, is all I'm saying. Up for the week, gym time. Glad to have you back. Take care, Scott. Nice one, dude. Just scalp that bounce. Yeah, we're all the way back now, aren't we? This is what I talked about, where I don't want to hold from 30s. Once we reclaim 30s, we can start getting these squeeze. Is it 30s? Somewhere around here. Yeah, 30s. This shelf here, we've come right back to the initial balance. My purple line, a bit of a shelf here. So like I said, they might need to do something like this to offer relief, to trap bulls, to resell. If they come back inside this, though, I would start being careful, all right? If we are going to start holding this, I would start to be careful about thinking about any more downside. You can see the importance of this initial balance and this node. Just catching up with what you guys are saying here. Yeah, volume nodes can be targets for TPs for sure. For sure. If you think about what volume is, it's just a place where lots of people have participated. So we respect that. Low volume nodes we can use as like support and resistance, but we can trade through them very, very fast if no one wants to turn up there. So I'd use them as like false breakout parts of a low volume node, and high volume nodes as like proper support and resistance. Please give me a funded account. I have no funds to trade. What I am experts trade tell me. I don't know what that means, but no one can give you a funded account. Do I find the volume profiles are more accurate on NinjaTrader and TradingView? Just find that there's sometimes discrepancies, but not necessarily more accurate. If we start grinding up and thinking about doing one contract long next week expiry, either Tesla or QQQ. I mean, coming into earnings, I don't know, mate. Do what you do. Like if that's what a trade that you like, then do it. If I'm using Apex Trader funding, TraderVet account, would I need NinjaTrader version of the flow zone indicator? You could have NT or you can have the one on here. It's up to you, either or, because you can trade on TradingView if you really want to. I don't. I like executing on NinjaTrader. Can you trade with the indicator? Yes, you can. Okay. AA Foster, if you keep talking nonsense, then you're just going to be removed. You're just talking absolute garbage. I use NinjaTrader desktop app. I've been signing into it my Apex Trader 8 logins. The Ninja order flow was working great. Thanks for that video. Oh, you're welcome, E-Rock. You might just need to go back on to and turn it back on in the back end. I've had that a couple weeks ago. So you might have to re-go through that video, do the same thing again. Sometimes it turns off. I don't know why. You're welcome, Kat. Nice one, mate. See you Monday. See you Monday. How do I choose anchor points for VWAP? 9:30 open and like a newsprint or a big peak high or a big peak low is where I would choose them. Single prints from 675 to 725 could be filled. Let's have a look. Yeah, up here. Yeah. Definitely. Move down to 1 minute, see if we see more. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if they want to. But we know this is strong, right? This is where strong selling came in. This is where we broke down from. Remember, we took it from 730. So we took it from here. And this was the follow through. Buyers definitely got caught here. But yeah, if we get relief, we've got all these imbalances to fill if they really want to. Wondering if there's a benefit over NinjaTrader over TradingView. Well, the ATM strategy for a start. copying for a start, not being web-based. I think all those things for me. Monday's a holiday. Yeah, it's Martin Luther King Day, isn't it? Yeah. I don't think we'll get a V-shaped recovery. I think we might trade into range, but I don't think we'll go all the way back up today. But who knows? It is a Friday. What is indicator order flow? What do you mean? For this, I'm going to do a video on it tomorrow. It's just the footprint charts, guys. It's just up here. Volume footprint. Previous day low, yeah, I know it missed it, didn't it? But like I said, it did take it on the ETFs, right? So cash took it. So if you go to like QQQ, right, we took it right here. So we drifted underneath. We already took it. If you go to the spiders, we took it, right? So it's only the futures that didn't take it. So it's worth being, being aware of that sometimes. Cash players got the move that they wanted. Hey, nice, Kaio. Good work. New here, fantastic market analysis, which helped me catch 3 of the biggest trades of my career. Hey, that's great to hear. Congratulations. All right, back to previous week POC now. So if they're going to fade it, they really should think about doing it anywhere from like sort of where we are now, maybe even up to VWAP. If they let the relief happen to VWAP, I would start to be concerned for this, for all you shorts. All right. If we start to bid above this or do this, all right, I wouldn't be thinking about short for the rest of the day. Even though they've got this target here, if they start to hold volume and create volume in here, they will leave these guys trapped. All right, shorts at the low of day have trapped, and there were shorts at low of day trapped. Okay, we had big guys come in at low of day. You can see all this delta under 620 was sell side. They are caught. All right, so if they start to hold bids on pullbacks, I would kind of leave the shorts alone. All right, if we start to hold inside of the initial balance, if we start to reclaim areas, you want to be careful. Checked out the web video, could not find anchored volume profile on NT. You have to, it's not anchored, right? It's just the normal order flow volume profile. Let me show you guys. All right, this is the volume profile. Order flow volume profile in the settings. You see how I've got trading hours set to flow zone trader 9:30 to 4 o'clock. You will need to make your own trading hours and save it and then load it. Okay, that's what you will need to do. That's how you have it anchored to the 9:30 to 4 o'clock. Like it does it by itself once you do that. I'm sure I put it in that video. Maybe I didn't. I'm sure I did. So they are trying now to absorb initial balance here. ES has just rejected New York VWAP and PDC. It's an interesting level, this. It is definitely an interesting level. Shorts will need to come in soon if they are going to look to send this back downside. Buyers will want to defend this level. This is where the battle is going to start for sentiment for the next hour or so, I would say. So if they lose this shelf of 59.60s, possibly get a retest of 633s again. All right, so if sellers come in here, they will need to send it under this shelf to here. If buyers keep absorbing, they will try and trade back inside of value. So sellers are looking to do this. They will cover some here, and then maybe they'll get one of these. Buyers, because we've had like 2 legs, buyers are going to try and absorb this to force this move up. That's what you're looking at the moment. It is a battleground level. It is your initial balance. So buyers trying to absorb this here, like we just talked about, this IB level, big level, and they want to get relief to sort of 700, 720, somewhere up there. That's what the buyers are looking to do today, or right now. All right, I'm going to use the bathroom for a moment. I will be right back. Oh. Okay, guys. How are we doing on the likes here? All right, let's get these likes up, guys. You want to do giveaways, we've got to get 400 likes. So many of you come here every day. Take the trades for free, make your money, and don't even hit the like button. Come on. Come on now. All right, so relief now. Like we talked about, they're holding the IB. I'd be very cautious about any shorts now. If they want to lift this, they have a low volume node here. They can trade to sort of 714, 720s, maybe even the VWAPs. All right, so they're starting to lift this now. ES going for VWAPs as well. Already through its close, already through New York, trying to trade to VWAP. SPY reclaiming VWAP or having a dig through VWAP. Q's relative weakness, VIX coming back down. It failed that 1630 level that we talked about. It then failed 16s. It's trading right back down to 1562 now. So just a complete washout on the VIX as we trade back into the range again. It's just a back and forth market here. Going back to PDC here. Big level above. Trying to fill some of these. PDC here, key. Can we get rid of this yellow line? There we go. All right, so if you took that long, the reclaim of IB and initial balance, you'd want to be paying yourself some into this low volume node and see if you can get through 700s and 720s. Now, if any of you took the long from here for the reclaim, you're in leg 2 here. So you want to be careful in case they resell it. You never know, you might get lucky, but you want to position yourself so that you're trimming into this. You want to be locking some profits in into the key levels. You do not want to be overstaying your welcome. There's PDC. Let's see if they reclaim this now. Point control. If they hold the next dip in that, then they get offer more relief probably. Back towards these 700s. They are trying to buy this at the moment. I'm not going to buy it. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. No way I'm buying this here. The buy was the initial balance reclaim. This can be a second leg, which is then sold into. Waiting to see. We've just failed previous day close. And do we start washing down here, or do they bid at these 85s? These kind of levels here become key now. All right, so buyers will want to hold the bid here and complete this move. Sellers will want to get a close under here and finish this target, but they have to respect this now because we've now built liquidity through the session. Yeah, totally. I've seen the same thing as you who said the daily. If we look at this right here, current week value area low and 20-day right here. Totally agree with you. But you know, we can just get stuck here because we have everything very, very, very tight here. Where's the 50-day now? Let me have a look. 50 days there as well, like at the low of day. It's just everything is tight at the moment in this market while it has to make its decision. All right, we're starting to lose these levels. So watching here, if they start losing this in initial balance, I'm going to look to size in for a move back lower. Not before that. They're going to have to prove to me that they're done with this. I'm not seeing a prove yet, but it's a level I'm interested in. Remember, the main trend is down. We've just done 2 legs back up. We came right into PDC. I would almost rather it traded into here and failed. Buyers will want to absorb here. I will be willing to short if we get stuck under this for this rotation, and I will respect this. Sorry to hear that, Tyson. At least you got your money out of them, right? So you're net positive. You're net positive on there. The 1 hours, yeah. It's just because we're in a giant balance. That's all it is. We're in a giant balance. So previous week point of control, buyers are trying to absorb it. They want to complete this move here. I'm not going to buy this. I'm going to wait to see if we come back under this for the day or if we get stuck here. If we reclaim, then I might not take the long. The long opportunity was probably where I stopped out there and then add there and trim. I'd rather stay short on this for a pro trend short at the moment. But we have to be aware of initial balance. We've had a look below and fail, but we do have targets below if it does want to go for it. does not know what it's doing. All right, how are we doing for likes? Because I want to do a giveaway. Need at least 100 more, guys. There's at least half of you watching this who have not hit the like button. That's all you've got to do. Just hit the like button and we'll do some giveaways. It's really simple. This is the flow zone indicator. Yeah, so that's part of this. All right, once we went pro trend. Regular time close today, yeah. Midday close on Monday for Martin Luther King Day. Midday close on Monday. It's a battle here. I actually want to see them lift this to 725 if possible first. What's the time as well? Go watch these talks. You've got Barkin talking now and Bowman. So you have got Fed talk taking place at the moment. I want to be careful of that. The indicator, yeah, indicator works very well. We'll see. I'll see about Monday. Maybe not. If it's a low volume day, I'll see what the setup looks like on the Sunday open. If I think there's a decent day to be had on Monday, I'll trade it. But volume's likely to be lower. But we'll see, right? I'm not against being here Monday with you, but only if it's worth everyone's time. Only if it's worth everyone's time. Don't want to sit here for 3 hours in the market not move. But I want to be aware of it in case they do some dirty move on a low volume day, which just would not surprise me knowing what they're like. It really would not surprise me at all. Okay, we cannot get through these 700s in this PDC here. We keep getting stuck on this top of this node here. What's TP? Take profit. All right, Nathan. I hope the surgery goes well, mate. I hope you're okay. I hope all is okay. Let me just answer a couple of emails here, guys. What is it? What is it, mate? Rotator cuff. What is the graph that's moving up and down about buyers and sellers? This right here above me. It's your DOM. It's your ladder. It's your level 2. Okay, here they go. So hopefully they can squeeze up here. It's not because I'm long. It's because I want to see how we act. So we've reclaimed initial balance. You can see this now. All right, I want to see what happens when we get into these. Top side of range is 50s if they really want to go flying. It's a big ask. 725 still on the tape. Looking for outliers here above. Are there any outliers above right now? 32s was a big sell level. There's not many buyers trapped above. No. Oh, mate, that sounds awful. That sounds terrible, mate. I hope you're okay. Woof. All right, into this grey box. VWAP above. So longs are getting paid here from the initial balance reclaim. They're trying to push up into VWAP. So that long IB to VWAP trade is starting to take place. 25 is a big level, I would say. Big level. VIX still dripping downside here. It's lost the bid so far. And we can consider how this market might want to act. It's possible that we come all the way up to 50s here. I would not rule it out. I absolutely would not rule it out. Strong buy-sell delta has stepped in the last 5 minutes. Strongest we've seen for a while. So do they get trapped or do they get their way and get the 25s and 50s? We just tagged into 20s. Certainly 20s being defended there. The edge. So I think the market will go up. And I think the market is giving relief. I think sellers will probably want to defend around here. I can imagine us doing something like this, right? I can imagine us doing something like this and then a trade back down into here. At this point, it would need to make its decision if it's doing this or coming down into here, or if we're just going to trade in here for the rest of the day. Very, very possible. Big relief will come above 57s and 60s, right? Then we can get that sort of V shape. But I don't think we're going to get it. But ES is showing some good strength here. But if we have a look at the MAG, Apple down 0.68%, Amazon down 0.19%, Google down 0.79%, Meta up 0.68%, Microsoft up 0.63%, Nvidia up 0.39%. Remember that was up well over 2.5-3% at one point today. Tesla's basically flat, and as a whole, the MAG are only up 0.12%. So they haven't caught a big bid yet. And the strength from NQ is gone because we're now lagging behind ES. We were stronger this morning in chips. We're now lagging behind. IREN, look at that. Almost 10% up on the day. They all caught a bid. How often am I live? Monday to Friday. 9:15 Eastern all the way into lunch. Monday to Friday. The buy trade at 25,660 would say that's high risk due to downward momentum 660. This is a better trade because you've got something to risk off. Right, you've got this shelf and you've got no acceptance and you've got initial balance. You've got something to risk off, but it's counter trend. So you need to be locking in profits because when they're done with this, right, if too many buyers come in here and they're done with it and the pro trend takes back over, this can happen very, very quickly. But this is a good level to risk off. This is a failed break, a reclaim, and these are the targets from IB to VWAP. We talk about this almost every day on stream, IB to VWAP. ES has already done it. It's already tagged both its VWAPs from the IB. If we look at ES, right, there's your reclaim, clear pivot, held, VWAP 1, VWAP 2, that's your job done. It's done it. So VPOC now at 85s. So still watching 85, still watching initial balance if we're going to trade backside. Is the bookmap showing orders at 750? Not really. There's a little bit. Most of it's at 25, like I've been talking about. Look above and fail of 20. Yeah, it's possible. We're still grinding up at the moment, right? We're still holding flow zones. We're still above point of control. We're still above the nodes. We're stuck between the grey box and the node. We're still grinding up. Waiting to get involved in a sell. I would like to sell this if we see weakness. We do have some buyers trapped at like 15s. Like we do have a proper auction there. Above 10s, we definitely have people trapped, but you know, we're getting closer and closer to lunch. We've got a new 30-minute bar coming in 4 minutes. Just waiting to see if we can see some weakness come for me to join in. If we're gonna trade it back downside, we're gonna have to let go of key levels. Don't want to guess the top. What happens if you guess this top and they go, no, we're gonna V-shape, right? We're still driving at the moment. I want to play the backside when it's done. If it's finished, I want to see something like this and leave all of this trapped and then play lower. I don't want to be guessing here and get caught in one of these. Remember, we've hit most of the targets. The only thing left is this. So we're back inside the initial balance. If they want to lift all the way to even, if they want to come and test value on the day, they can. Look, it lines up with VWAP. If they want to lift this, if they want to lift it, they will lift it. To this seller who was at 14s again. They still got liquidity above to attack if they want to go for it. ES now really looking pretty good. Guys, lots of you are asking like the same questions over and over and over and over. Like I'm not going to keep repeating myself on stream. Don't be so vague. This is real simple. I ain't got time for someone like you. Don't be so vague. Fucking moron. Another one. How about you go and do some work and understand what I mean? No, we're not going to delete him. He's gone. Bye. Fucking can't stand it. Don't be so vague. I literally talked about it like 30 minutes ago. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm really vague, mate. Really vague. How to know you're a newbie trader and you've got no chance when you're a complete dick on stream when someone's helping you. Like, I'm not being funny. Some of you are asking the most ridiculous questions. Do I use Delta? Yes, absolutely. I use Delta. Like, you hear me talking about it all the time. It's literally on the screen. You have Delta here. I keep showing the Delta positions here. I keep talking about the trap traders. I'm using Bookmap. Like, come on, guys, help me out here. I'm exhausted as it is. Come on, help me out. Help me out a little bit. It was only a few minutes ago I said it's the strongest buy Delta candle we've had since the open. Come on, guys. Help me out. Okay, back to the 25s, which I keep talking about. Into the grey box, into VWAP. Here's the big buyers coming in, trying to force the squeeze up. Now, this is where I'm interested in. Do they get caught here, or do they see follow through all the way to 50 now? So do we see buyers have follow through to 50 now or not? ES looks very, very strong. VIX looks very, very weak. So I want to be very, very careful. We've already reclaimed key level. We're coming right back up to these 50s at the moment. This is a little peak here as we peeked through. New 30-minute bar. This level here. 52s looks a big level to me. I'm just annoyed. You guys just annoy me. Can tell the traders, no, not even traders, the kids that jump from stream to 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 stream, and then ask stupid questions because they can't sit and learn. They don't want to educate themselves. They want a gift. It's just infuriating, man. And then have the fucking stupidity to say I'm being vague. Okay, let it go, Alex. All right, back to 25s. Right, do they rebid 25s, or is this look above and fail? We hit New York VWAP. We haven't hit 24-hour. We came in low volume node. These are the levels of interest now. Do these buyers up here get trapped? We saw aggressive buying up here. Do they get trapped, and do we start to flush? Or do they need to get to 50s? Are they looking for a rotation to 50s? ES looks so flipping strong right now. VIX is trying to find a bit of a bid. It is trying. Just this grind back up since that low of day. I don't mind. Look, I don't mind asking questions. It's when it's the same question on repeat, which means someone's just going from stream to stream to stream to stream, and then has, you know, I've been live now for what, 2 hours, and then says I'm being vague. It's like, it's just shit that like that annoys me. Fuck off into one of the other channels then, which teach you nothing. I'd much rather you went there with that attitude. Nice, yeah. You got the Tyson trade. I'm assuming, dude, you took the IB to VWAP. The Tyson trade. It's your bread and butter, man. You're an absolute killer with that stuff. Okay, watching these 20s and 25s. See if they pull the bid here and we start to flush. Just being very, very careful. I'm not in yet. I'm waiting to see how we act here. Definitely caught some buyers at the highs. I'm very aware that the rotation to 50 hasn't been hit. But like we said, 25s was the big level. Question is, are we going to start to fade off the New York VWAP? Are we going to lose these 15s and come down to 90s and then see some like downside follow through? That's the question for me right now. Here we come into the imbalance. They're bidding 15s. Point of control now shifted above us into 30s or 27s. I want to see it start flushing now. If we're going to get heavy, I want to see it start doing it now. Otherwise, they're going to go 50s. We're running out of time into lunch. So if we're going to start rejecting this node, we want to start doing it now. And then the fun and games really start happening underneath here. So for me, POC's just flipped on Ninja to here. So if we do something like this, it would be fun. But if we do something like this, it would be really fun. What I want to be very aware of is if they want to complete this move here, which is very, very possible. So I'm trying to be patient for them to come here first, come under, reject, maybe even here for a bigger ad. Until then, I want to be very, very patient. Yeah, still showing strength here. 50s still possible. They're still holding flow zones. They're still grinding back. 50s and VWAP still possible if they want to do it. Cannot rule that move out. Need to be patient. If we're going to play backside, I'm going to have to be patient. What is the edge of this node? It's so far away. Where does it get thin? 800. Oh my God, can you imagine that? If they bid back up to 800 today, it'd be insane. Yeah, Adam, I mean, once you understand what's going on, it's a game changer, isn't it? Like when you see buyers buying the highs or sellers selling the lows, you can see who's trapped very, very quickly. Thing is, ES is starting to print over its pivots from 10 a.m. this morning. And you got to think, like, if they don't sell it soon, we're going to be at New York Open and 7,000 on ES, and we would have been grinding back the whole day. But QQQ is coming into its VWAP, so I'm just flat here, just waiting to see what it wants to do. I have no idea what these guys want to do with this at the moment. It's just a bit out of sync. Just stuck. We are stuck again. Nice work. 500 on a TPT. Good work. This guy here, these sellers here that came in at 20 down to sort of, what's this, 13s? 100 lot, 200. You about 300 of them stuck between 20 and the 10s. And if they remain stuck, we can squeeze. If they become in the money, then I think we get a bigger flush. So between 20s and 10s, basically, between here. In here, you have like 300 lot seller. Right, he got caught in here. He's 300 lot size, basically. He needs this, which is what I'm waiting to see if we get. Because if he remains stuck and he starts covering at this point here, we're going to be at 50s real quick. So we're going to go and test where he came in. This is where he came in. A couple more points down. Let's see if he gets out and rebids or if he just adds some size and tries to force. Moment, they're rebidding it. Someone's just come on the book at 25 again, and he's adding at 15s to absorb. Is now considered fair value on the day. This is the level we've traded the most at all session now. That's how long we've been stuck here at this level. From 10 a.m. and again now coming into lunch, same level. So all that move, and we're just going to stop at the VWAP into lunch, are we? Just a load of nonsense today, basically. So we're just going to pause at the same point. I'm going to test him again. Still holding that 25. Remember, 25 down to 15. We have a 300 lot seller who's currently stuck there. If we come under that, then we're going to see weakness. At the moment, he is still stuck. 25 to 15, he remains stuck. And if he gets stuck and we start breaking here, we will go 50s. If he starts forcing his stop out at 35 and above, we'll probably go 50s real quick if he does. So his stop, I'd imagine, is here, and then we're going to go 50s. Little look above there. They're trying to rebuild it again now. They want to get up to 50s. It's clear as day. ES wants to get up to that New York Open. I cannot believe the strength of ES. That's insane. ES is basically like up here right now. It's called Cidi. Cidi. What I use, Cidi Footprint. It's a third-party app that you have to pay for. So they're trying to get up to these 50s. Here they go for the push to 50s. They're attempting to get to that 50s and VWAP. Relentless bid on this. What happens when they pull it? That's the question. Still no backside. Still just grinding. They're adding at 60s now, so they're adding higher now as well. They're trying to get filled even higher now. So 45, 47, 50, 52, 55, and 60 is where they're adding. ES is going to go for that New York Open, I'm telling you. There's strength in that thing. So Tyson, I don't know if you've got any left for your IB trade, but you might get your 24-hour VWAP as your second tag. Maybe. Still absorbing. Still the same target. They want to get to 50s. And just question if they pull this bid, we've gone up non-stop grind. There can be like a nasty flush, but I think 50s is definitely the target here. All the way to the other side of value. Here it goes. There's 50s tagged and VWAP tagged. And now you have to see, do they really want to run these stops at 65? But this is your target. So if you were long from IB, that's your target. 24-hour view up now hit. ES very close to that New York Open that we talked about. Amazon's caught a bid, now gone flat. And you have to see what next now, really. Into value area high on the session. If we find acceptance above value area high on the session, we have some stops here to run, but you cannot rule out this move. You just can't, because we're so thin on where we lack structure. But you would imagine they'd want to send it down here at some point. But if they hold this, you'd be careful. But I would be interested in this trade here, down to here, and certainly outside of that. Look how we've just shifted value, though. Crazy. See, 50's a tag, so make sure you're, I don't know, 80, 90% out of your long. Nice cat, good work. Yeah, tons of trendline liquidity. But flow zones just absorb. Just non-stop. They're not done with it. They're trying to come in again here. It's all, for me, this is all about ES. ES wants to hit its New York Open. For whatever reason, they have decided to turn the buy on to get back to New York Open. Maybe someone was stuck. Let me have a look at the breadth. What's going on right now? Yeah, finances have caught a bid. So JP Morgan, 1% up. AXP, 2.21% up. What's this down here? SYF, 4.20% up. Healthcare doesn't look great, though. Energy's going all right. Utilities are going pretty good. Real estate's going very well. Industrials are going very well. Tech's just a mixed bag. Consumer defensive looks weak today. Who's the big winner on the day? MU, like the chips, it's crazy, man. The chips are the big winners, like MU, AMD, AVGO, other than INTC, everything's up. Nvidia only, like, what are we up now on Nvidia? 0.48%. Okay, so 50's tagged. SLG, probably not, knowing them. Just get another positive trade, and then, I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I wouldn't know, but technically, no. I was down 100 earlier. Now I'm up 300 because of the trapped seller at the 50s. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, Wheelhouse. No worries. Okay, so back to test POC in this node. All right, so buyers will want to absorb this kind of node here. The weakness will come, all right, once we start losing this. I'm interested if we start losing this for a rotation here, and then run us back down to here if we get lucky. If we keep holding bids, there's just really nothing else to do with this. We can't force our way into a market. I'm certainly not going to bid up here. Should I have bid initial balance? Possibly. It felt risky, but possibly. All right, use a bathroom, get a glass of water, come back. We've got 10 minutes, and then I want to give away an Apex account. Big sellers come in here, still being absorbed. I have lost interest in this account. No interest in this now. Too late in the day, too close to coming into lunch now. So let's do some giveaways. Huge ask 92 to 95 on ES. Yeah, they're trying to protect. New York Open is 96.50 or 97. I'm seeing that being protected at the moment, but I just don't like what I'm seeing now. Right, I'll show you on Bookmap. Where are you guys? Okay, this guy got stuck. Remember I said, like, there's 300 lots stuck? Is this guy here? All right, he tried to sell the low for this breakdown underneath the 25. So he was looking for the look above and fail. He came in aggressive. He got caught. They absorbed. The absorption happened here. They rebid up. They've never let him out. He then stopped out. All right, if you think about this, his stop was here. Look what happened once we got through that. 310 lot. All right, so he stops out. You get breakout buyers. We know he was 300 lot or just under 300 lot short at the low. Guess what? 300 lot long there. That's his stop. All right, we squeeze up and we're holding this now. Maybe we get look below finally come, but it's too close to lunch now. They've had the time to do it. All right, they've had the time to do it. That's why I kept saying someone's stuck there. You can see him. I told you exactly where and how much size he had. All right. I still don't get how you're seeing what you're seeing on this chart, but it no longer looks like Picasso rainbow to me. It's just time, brother. It's just time. Like, over time, you'll start to see the patterns and the traits and everything else. Sorry, guys, I haven't even said it live yet. It's my bad. Give me a second. I tell you what, we're going to do, because I don't want you guys to get banned who you've just put it in. Let me do a different word first. We'd give away the course first, right? So just type course in chat once. We'll give away the course first. We'll do the Apex account after. So just type course chat in chat once. Only because loads of you put the code already and then it would ban you. So I just want to make sure you're all entered into it. Give you guys a couple minutes. Back to the same level where that guy was just stuck. Literally exactly the same level he was stuck at. So if they let him out, we might get a flush. If they don't let him out, we're going to rebid up to 50s again. And he's still caught there. Exactly the same level. Exactly the same level we just went over on Bookmap. All right, give you guys 30 seconds more. So tempted, but it's so close to lunch, man. It's so tempting. It is so close to lunch. They're starting to sell this now. Well, we can watch 15s to see if it rejects, I guess. As soon as I do the giveaway, I miss it. Wait the whole time for backside and they just fucking dunk it. All right, we're coming down into the 97s and 700s. I want to see if it offers me an opportunity to sell this. Oh my god! Like, talk about sod's law. All right, let's choose this winner. 72 off sweet. Cannot believe this. The moment I do the giveaway, it does it. It's hilarious. Oh, they're playing with me. Oh well, whatever. That's a bit of fun. At least you can see. That's what I was looking for. The 50s, the leave of this volume, the trade down to here. All right, maybe now you get something like this, and if we lose this down here for the day. Anyway, I'm done with it. Whatever. Fuck it. It's a bit of a laugh. But you can see, like, the market moves in certain ways. This is why. So you'd be looking to resell 15 here if they stay heavy. That's what I'd be looking at. Or 15 all the way up to this level here, 30. So 15 to 30, you'd want to see buyers get trapped in here. 72 off sweet. Are you here, my friend? 72 off sweet. Are you here? SPY is holding PDC. It's very, very strong, that, from SPY. You would need to see buyers get caught here. You don't want to just sell it. You need to see buyers get caught here. 72 off sweet. Are you here? I'm going to give you 30 more seconds to let me know you're here. Otherwise, we're going to re-roll it. So they're coming right back up to VWAP again. If they don't reject here, then there's no downside to play. You need to see sellers step in versus that point of control and VWAP. All right, we're going to re-roll this. 72 sweet, not turning up. So re-roll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Teresa won yesterday. This is one very lucky person. Teresa, are you here? Are you here, Teresa? Give you a bit of time. Let me know you're here. There you go. Same as yesterday, Teresa. Just email me. I'll send you a link for the course. I'm going to make a note of that now. So info@FlowZoneTrader. Send me a picture of you logged in. Okay, let me set this up. Okay, just type FCT once in chat. We'll give away an Apex account. Give you guys a couple minutes. Please don't spam it, guys. Please don't spam it. It will automatically pull you out if you spam it. You only need to type it once. Most of you are being very good here. A couple of you have spammed. Just don't spam it because it automatically pulls you out and then you won't win it. So you're not doing yourself any favors. We won't let Teresa win this one. She won yesterday. She just won again. She's not allowed to win this one, okay? If she wins, we re-roll it. Okay, let's pull this winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Spearhead Media Group. Are you here, Spearhead Media Group? Just let me know you're here in chat. Yes, you are. Nice. Okay, Spearhead, just shoot me an email. Okay, info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube so I know it's you. I'm going to make a note of your name and you can have a free Apex account, any size account you want. And I will sort you out with that straight after stream. All right, guys, happy Friday. I hope you all have a good weekend. Look out for the newsletter. I will do it after the close today. It will be in your inboxes for tomorrow morning for those of you in America, tomorrow afternoon for those of you in Europe. All right, make sure you go through those key levels and everything I talk about in there. It will help you with your sentiment for next week. I will be back here next week trading with you. I will do a try and get an educational video up this weekend for you on using Footprint on TradingView, because I know lots of you have been asking about that. All right, so we'll try and get it up for you guys. And have a good weekend. Make sure to get off the charts. Remember, this is just a job. It's only trading. There's a whole world out there. Try and be nice to people, especially you people on stream, which give me a hard time. I'm having a hard time enough as it is at the moment. I don't need extra pressure when I'm here trying to deliver you the goods to make some money and help you for free. All right? So try and be nice to people. Karma will come back your way. You're nice to people, people be nice back to you. You'll see your life will be a lot better. All right. Peace and love, everyone. Have a great weekend. Love you all. And don't forget also, those of you in Discord, there is a competition right now for free funded Next accounts. Those of you on YouTube, go to the community page. There is also a free competition. All you've got to do is answer one question. And at the end of this month, we will pick a winner. All right. Take care.